counting the vote, it speaks to how secure that process was in that part of the country. So,
different reviews, but
yes,
just on the whole,
yes,
because it would take the number of incidents,
indeed,
and then that's how you say, oh, it was marred or not marred by violence,
yes,
and we would see how in different the 170,000 polling units, we'll see
indeed.
how many of them recorded.
And by that
an
time, we'll
incident.
start comparing with the incidences we had in previous
Yes,
elections.
2015, 2019, 2011, yes.
This election was preceded by the passage of the much talked about Electoral Act. I mean, at some point, civil society organizations were on the neck of the federal government that this document has to be passed. Many people counted.
I think it was the president.
Because it was already passed by the National Assembly, and then they needed the president to assent it into law. And we've also spoken with quite a number of foreign observers who are quite elated and interested in this act and how it aligns with international standard for how elections should be observed. We understand that these observers also leave recommendations after they have observed an election. Now, whether or not these recommendations are going to be taken is also something that we will have to watch out for.
Absolutely. And if we're back here 11 a.m. tomorrow,
Indeed,
where INEC will be expecting more state collation officers and the resident electoral commissioners to be here.
Yes.
And then hopefully we'll have more states come in by then, but it's 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Indeed.
TVC will be live here. We've been live all just before the beginning of this election and all through this election. And until the results are declared, we'll be live on air. I will be back here at the Collation Centre tomorrow.
Well, it is not over yet until it's over. Abosede standing by in Lagos. Abosede, how have you been and how has been the coverage for you?
Nifemi, I have been great from across the country. It's good to see that results are trickling in, getting into the National Collation Centre there in Abuja. But then, of course, we have to wait till tomorrow at 11 when the Collation Centre would reconvene for continuation. Thank you for that update from the nation's capital. You're watching Decision 2023 on TVC News, our live coverage of the elections in Nigeria. Remember, the presidential and National Assembly elections held on Saturday, 25th of February in most parts of the country, but voting had to continue on Sunday in some polling units across the country. And then we have been receiving updates from across the country. Our correspondent in different states bringing us live feeds of what is going on where they are. At the moment, we'll be joining our correspondent, Abimbola Agbebiyi, who is at the INEC State Collation Centre in Yaba, Lagos State, for updates from there. Abimbola, what is happening there now? How many local government areas have arrived, and what results have been reeled out so far? All right, Abimbola Agbebiyi is for us there at the State Collation Centre in Yaba, Lagos. We'll be connecting with her for updates from there. Before now, we know that there have been series of results coming from different people and groups on social media, but the electoral umpire, INEC, has continually emphasized that that should not be considered. I understand Abimbola Agbebiyi is live now. Abimbola, it's over to you, please.
All right, we are live from the Collation Centre, State Collation Centre here at in Yaba, the Independent National Electoral Commission office headquarters here in Yaba, and we just went on recess earlier. 4 results from 4 local government area arrived out of the 20 local governments that have been expected here tonight, and the first to be taken by the state collation officers, Lagos Mainland. We've had Lagos Mainland, we've had Lagos Island, we've had Ikorodu, and we've had Egbe. Now, out of these local governments taken, we had some local governments where we had cases of overvoting, we had cases of ballots snatching and all of that. and all of these issues, of course, were raised by some of the party, party agents who witnessed the presentation of the result here. Also earlier, before at the start of the program, we had the state collation officer talking about the importance of this particular exercise, saying that of course the entire world is watching, all eyes on Nigeria at this point, as of course get on the concluding processes of this particular election. Also, the resident electoral commissioner told us about the hiccups recorded from different parts of the country when this exercise started. He talked about the issue the commission had with logistics. You will recall that in some parts of Lagos and of course in some parts of Nigeria we had cases where election materials did not get to polling units on time, and that talks about the problem they had with logistics. It talked about the fact that they did not have enough vehicles to convey these election materials. He actually mentioned some cases where drivers of these vehicles insisted on being paid in full and of course in cash. And of course we know what's happening in the country at this point. We have the cash crunch, the naira scarcity and all of that. So they had to deal with all of this, and of course it almost marred election in some parts of the state. Talking about Lagos, I experienced this in some parts of Agege area of Lagos, and even in Alimosho, where election did not start until about 11 a.m. And from my findings from the people I spoke to, adult CANEC officials, I was being told that part of the reasons they could not move these election materials is because they had issues in logistics. There were no vehicles to convey election materials, and so they had to wait until that was resolved. Of course, all of these hiccups, glitches were talked about by the resident electoral commission. I also made us to understand that in spite of all these challenges, they were able to manage it and were able to get on top of it. So far, of course, election results from 20 local governments have been expected here tonight, and so far we have 4 local governments in here, and out of these 4 local governments, 3 have been taken so far. We have election results taken from Lagos mainland, which was the first to be taken, after which we had Lagos Island, we had Ekpe, and we are about to take Ikorodu. And that's what we have. We just went on recess for a few minutes, and we expect that it will convene any moment from now.
Abimbola Agbebiyi for us there at the State Collation Centre in Yaba, Lagos. Abimbola, you talked about the 3 local government areas that have been taken. Like, how many more do you think would be taken before we call it a day?
Okay, so if I heard you clearly, I said earlier that we had 4 local governments that have brought in their election results tonight, and out of the 4 local governments that have brought in their election results, 3 have been taken so far. 16 more are still being expected, so of course it's going to be a long wait in here. So we expect that this will run into late in the night, though the state collation officer said she hopes that this exercise would, of course, would come to an end before daybreak, but then we still await election results from these places. We haven't heard anything from all the local governments, but as it stands, we have just 4 local governments with their election results in there. 3 have been taken. 1 will be taken probably shortly after the recess is over. Okay, so of course we have our eyes on all that is happening here. Of course, we'll give you updates as they unfold.
It's like an all-day, all-night affair there, trying to catch up on all the development, because all of this need to happen before these results are taken to Abuja. And I tell you, all eyes are on the National Collation Centre in Abuja to see who Nigerians have actually voted to be their next president. Thank you very much for all the updates you're bringing us from there, Abimbola. We wish you a safe stay. Please take good care of yourself. We'll talk to you some other time.